Dark chocolate. It began in Mesoamerica, where the Maya and Aztecs consumed cacao as a ritual drink and even used the beans as currency. In its modern form, dark chocolate is defined by a high cacao content with little or no milk, typically ranging from 50 to 99% cacao. That percentage indicates how much of the bar comes from the cacao bean itself versus added sugar. Higher percentages generally produce bolder, more intense flavors. The smooth texture associated with dark chocolate today comes from conching, a 19th century process that grinds and aerates chocolate for hours to reduce bitterness and create uniformity. Cacao is chemically complex, containing more than 600 flavor compounds, more than wine. Where the beans are grown plays a major role in how those flavors develop, with some regions producing fruity or acidic notes, and others leaning earthy or nutty. Drinking chocolate is the oldest way chocolate was consumed. Long before chocolate bars existed, cacao was prepared as a beverage. In Mesoamerica, Maya and Aztec versions were cold and bitter, and sometimes mixed with chili or cornmeal. Sugar was absent, and the drink held ceremonial importance. When cacao reached Europe in the early 16th century, sugar and heat transformed it into a luxurious drink enjoyed by the upper classes. Modern European drinking chocolate reflects this later tradition. It is thick and rich, made by melting real chocolate into milk or water rather than using cocoa powder. It is traditionally served with churros in Spain and topped with whipped cream in Vienna. Bittersweet chocolate. Bittersweet chocolate is a subtype of dark chocolate, typically containing between 60 and 80% cacao. Compared to semi-sweet chocolate, it contains less sugar, resulting in a more pronounced cocoa flavor and a slightly bitter finish. Bakers favor bittersweet chocolate in recipes where chocolate is meant to dominate, such as fudgy brownies, ganache frostings, and flourless cakes. Its higher cocoa butter content contributes to a richer mouthfeel, giving desserts a deeper, more luxurious texture than standard dark chocolate. Semi-sweet chocolate. Semi-sweet chocolate usually contains between 50 and 60% cacao and balances sweetness with cocoa intensity. It became widely standardized through the popularity of chocolate chips used in home baking. This style of chocolate is a common baking staple. It performs reliably in cookies, muffins, and icings, and it is widely available. Semi-sweet chocolate offers an approachable cocoa flavor without the bitterness of dark chocolate with a higher percentage of cacao, making it versatile and familiar. Milk chocolate. Milk chocolate emerged in 1875 when Swiss chocolatier Daniel Peter successfully combined chocolate with powdered milk developed by Henri Nestlé. This solved the spoilage problem that had prevented earlier attempts. Milk chocolate contains both cacao solids and milk solids, giving it a sweeter, creamier profile than dark chocolate. Early industrial production methods created a slightly tangy flavor that became widely familiar. Milk chocolate remains the most widely consumed chocolate globally. From a scientific perspective, milk proteins bind to bitter compounds in cacao, softening sharp flavors and creating a comforting taste profile. In recent years, artisanal makers have begun producing high-quality milk chocolates using carefully sourced milk and single-origin cacao. Unsweetened chocolate, often labeled baking chocolate, contains no added sugar. It is made entirely from cacao solids and cocoa butter, delivering a deeply bitter flavor. This form of chocolate serves as a foundational ingredient in many recipes, where sweetness is added separately through sugar and other components. The familiar wrapped baking squares found in supermarkets represent one of the purest forms of chocolate, closely resembling early cacao preparations. White chocolate is made from cocoa butter, sugar, and milk, but contains no cacao solids. For that reason, it is sometimes described as not being chocolate in the traditional sense. It first appeared commercially in the early 20th century and is regulated by minimum cocoa butter and milk content. White chocolate is difficult to work with because cocoa butter melts easily, making it sensitive to heat. Its mild flavor makes it useful as a neutral base for ingredients like vanilla, matcha, or fruit, allowing other flavors to take the lead. Blonde chocolate was discovered accidentally when white chocolate was gently heated for an extended period. Instead of burning, the milk solids caramelized. This process relies on the Maillard reaction, the same browning reaction seen in toasted bread. As the chocolate changes color from ivory to gold, its flavor deepens. This chocolate is known for toasty, shortbread-like notes with hints of caramel and salt, offering more complexity than regular white chocolate. Ruby chocolate. Ruby chocolate was introduced after years of development as a distinct category of chocolate. It is made from ruby cacao beans that naturally contain compounds capable of producing a pink color. The color and berry-like flavor come from processing rather than added fruit or dye. Ruby chocolate sits between milk and dark chocolate in cacao content and is known for a tart, slightly sour taste, often compared to red berries or citrus. Praline chocolates. They consist of a thin chocolate shell filled with a softer center. Fillings commonly include nut pastes, ganache, caramel, or fruit creams. They are closely associated with boxed assortments and gift chocolates. Much of their appeal comes from the contrast between a crisp outer shell and a smooth or liquid interior. The name praline is often traced to a 17th century French diplomat associated with almond and caramel confections. Modern pralines can be surprisingly complex, with individual pieces containing dozens of ingredients. Many fillings remain fluid through the use of precise emulsions, and familiar gift boxes often contain mostly pralines under elegant but vague names. Truffle chocolates. Chocolate truffles are small confections traditionally made from ganache and shaped into round balls. They are often rolled in cocoa powder, nuts, or coated in chocolate. Their name comes from their resemblance to truffle mushrooms, and they became associated with luxury chocolate in boutiques and gift boxes. A classic truffle ganache uses a precise ratio of roughly 2 parts chocolate to 1 part cream. Small changes can dramatically affect texture. Handcrafted truffles are labor-intensive, which is why individual pieces often carry a higher price. True truffles are soft throughout. Hard centers usually indicate molded chocolates rather than ganache. Couverture chocolate. It contains a higher percentage of cocoa butter, making it exceptionally fluid when melted. It is designed specifically for professional chocolatiers who use it for dipping, coating, and molding. When properly tempered, couverture develops a glossy shine and a clean snap. Its defining feature is workability and texture rather than sweetness. Compound chocolate. Compound chocolate replaces cocoa butter with vegetable fats combined with cocoa powder. This allows it to melt easily and set without tempering, making it simpler to work with than real chocolate. It is widely used for coating and decorating, especially in home kitchens. Available in many colors, it makes decorative chocolate work more accessible, though it lacks the flavor depth of cocoa butter-based chocolate. Single origin. Chocolate is made using cacao beans from one specific country, region, or estate. Instead of blending beans from different places, it focuses on how location affects flavor. Some bars taste bright and fruity, while others are smoother or more floral. Because they are made in smaller batches, these chocolates are often more expensive. Gianduja. Gianduja originated in Turin, Italy, during a period when cacao was scarce and expensive. Chocolatiers stretched their supply by blending chocolate with finely ground hazelnuts. The result was a smooth, rich mixture with a soft, almost spreadable texture. Traditional recipes use roughly 30% hazelnuts, ground for long periods to achieve silkiness. Gianduja is closely tied to high-quality hazelnuts and remains a staple in spreads, pastries, and desserts. Modica chocolate comes from Sicily and preserves an older, stone-ground chocolate-making tradition introduced during Spanish rule. Unlike modern chocolate, it is not heavily refined or conched. The sugar remains crystalline, creating a grainy, sandy texture. The chocolate is processed at low temperatures, so it crumbles rather than melts smoothly. Traditional flavors include cinnamon, vanilla, and chili. Raw chocolate. Raw chocolate is defined by low-temperature processing and the use of unroasted cacao beans. It is mainly a stylistic choice focused on minimal heat treatment. Because the beans are not roasted, raw chocolate tastes sharper and more vegetal, with a rougher texture than conventionally processed chocolate. Spiced Mexican-style chocolate. This style reflects chocolate's pre-Columbian roots. It typically combines cacao with cinnamon, chili, and other warm spices. Often sold as bars or discs, it is commonly used for drinks and cooking. The flavor is aromatic and warming, usually less sweet than mainstream chocolate. From ritual drinks to refined confections, chocolate isn't one flavor but a range of forms shaped by culture and technique. Let us know in the comments what we should cover next. Thanks for watching.